So today we're going to start off just a little different. I want to talk to you about the direction of this channel. Now, I started this kind of at a low point in my life where my career path got the door just slammed shut on it, and just trying to sort things out, figure out where I'm going. But now I'm going to try something a little different. I started this mostly as a hobby, something for fun, something for me and my girlfriend to enjoy together. But I want to try something different. As I've told many people, if your dreams aren't big enough to scare you just a little bit, and for people to aren't laughing at it, they're not big enough. So I'm going to dream big here. Something wild and crazy. May never happen, but I might be able to. See, I started binge watching Next Level Chef. Some of you have watched it, some of you haven't. They have chefs who are professional line chefs, personal chefs, working on private jets or penthouse apartments. Then you've got home chefs, people who just cook for their family. And yes, social media chefs like me. But, watching that first episode, I'm like, I can do this. I can get on there. At the end of the second episode, I'm like, I ain't cut out for that yet. So, what we're going to do is we're going to take it up to the next level, my cooking. We're going to start working on stuff I've never tried before, stuff I never even think of. Using ingredients and techniques I would have never thought of. I've been taking notes. I just learned what a beurre blanc sauce is. I'm going to have to learn how to make that. All these wild and crazy things, it's going to be going into future videos as part of my learning to take myself up to a new level and bring you some great videos. And you're going to watch and learn with me, because I'm going to mess up along the way. Just like last week with the creme brulee, where I burned myself pretty good and I screwed up the first two. So, with that out of the way, I got chicken Alfredo screaming my name. So, let's get cooking. Okay, so we got lots of different ways we can do our chicken. You could grill it, you could fry it, you could bake it, you could smoke it, you can microwave it. I don't suggest the microwave. I'm going to batter fry. So we're going to start off by making our batter. I've got half a cup of flour and I got half a cup of milk. For any batter, it's 1 part flour, 1 part liquid. And you could use water or you can use milk. You could use beer. You can beer batter it. But we're using milk today, so let's throw that in there real quick. Get it mixed up. Now, one of the next parts coming up will be the eggs. But I don't like putting them in there too quick. First, we get this nice and battery looking. And now, let's season it a bit. Because, yeah, there are people who will eat raw eggs. I am not one of those people. So, let's do the seasoning before I put my eggs in. And we're doing a simple season. Just sea salt and ground up pepper. But I want to be able to taste it. Make sure I haven't got it too salty or not enough salt. And just let's go with another pinch of salt. Maybe 2 pinches of salt. If y'all like that, let me know in the comments and I'll tell you where to get one. Touch more pepper, and then we'll add the eggs. Now, usually most people just add 1 egg in here. I like 2. Just seems to give it just a little more of a richness. There's 1. And 2. And make sure you get that all mixed in real good. And now would be a good time to get your oil heated up. In fact, I would suggest you do that before you even start making this. Because now I could put my chicken in here directly and then into my pot. Quick home pro tip for you. You don't cook with this a whole lot and you don't want to get a big old thing of it because you know it'll go to waste and weevils will get into it and it just, yeah, you know, I've been there. But then you needed some flour and then suddenly you don't have any because you had a teeny tiny bag for just one project. Well, here's how to keep this safe. Go ahead, get the big bag and throw it here in the freezer. It'll last darn near forever in there. Now, if you have seasoned flour for frying chicken, pork, fish, throw it in a Ziploc bag and do the same thing. You generally have to throw it out and waste it because like you've had meat in it and it'll be ruined. But you put it in the freezer and you can use it darn near forever. Let's get back to cooking. Alright, our oil is nice and hot. Our batter is ready to go with our chicken in it. Drip off the excess. Throw it in. I got it on a medium heat. You can go a little higher if you're a little braver than I am. I'm not quite brave enough. So, medium heat. And we're going to let that cook. So the chicken's cooking away right now. But real quick, I want to tell you why I picked this as a Valentine's Day dish. This is a romantic dish, people. You know how it was created? By a man whose wife was ill, and he wanted to create something that tasted amazing, but was going to be easy for her to eat. Something very simple, which is exactly what chicken Alfredo is. Just some noodles, a little cheese sauce, and some easily, gently cooked chicken. No wild spices or anything. Now, yeah, you can jazz it up a bit if you want. But we're gonna, for right now, take it one step at a time and do it right. I think it's time to get back to the chicken. Looks like it's starting to brown up. Let's take a look. Oh, that's looking good. We'll want it a little darker, but we can go ahead and start cooking the other side. And we'll flip it back to here in a little bit. Oh, it sounds right. Oh yeah, look how golden brown that is. That is what you are looking for. Just another minute or two on the other side, and we're going to pull this out and put it on the cutting board while we move on to our pasta. Alright, let's look at it. Oh yeah, that's it. Drain off that oil a little bit. Move it to our cutting board. Yeah, that's nice. Now we move on to our noodles. So this is a pasta we're going to use today, fettuccine. As you see, our butter is melting, and we need to throw this in while that's happening. Now, this is actually the second time I'm making this. The first time I used a whole pound of this, and it has way too much. So we're gonna go about half. Whoop, I'm screwing up. You see, I told you I'd show you when I screwed up. I haven't even turned on the heat over here yet. How can you boil pasta when you haven't got any heat? Mamma mia! But that's getting ready. We got butter, and now we're gonna add a cup of heavy whipping cream. But hey, life happens. Improvise, adapt, overcome. If you're a Marine listening, hoorah! Let's get this boiling. Let's get this heated before we start adding anything else in here. Let's go ahead and stir this a little bit. This is going to cook up very, very quickly. I'm going to make sure milk and the butter fully incorporate, and it's going to take a lot of cheese to do this. I want to get it to a low boil or high simmer. Yeah, you see how it's already bubbling? That's good. It's because there's not a whole lot in here. So I've got 6-ounce bag of Parmesan. We're going to start adding that in. I want to do it all at once, but we're going to use all of this. Because you want it to be gooey and sticky. At least I do. Now, I could be making it wrong. It may need to be creamier than I'm making it. But this is only my second time making it. And I kind of liked it that way. But the heat is too high. See how it's bubbling up there in the bottom, in the center? That's too hot. Turn the heat down. We don't want it sticking and burning. That will ruin our day. Of course, over on this other burner, I got it on high. Just waiting for it to try to come to a boil. Ah. Add another handful of cheese in here. Now, Parmigiano Reggiano, of course, is the traditional cheese that you use in this. But you want to experiment a little bit, try something different. The food police only live on the internet. They can't come to your house. You will be safe. Do what you want. Oh, yeah. Look how thick and gooey that's getting. See, this is why you needed the pasta first. Because this is almost ready. Now's a good time. We're going to throw some pepper in there. Now, if you wanted to, say you were going to add mushrooms, I would have cooked them in a separate container and then added them in now. Let's go ahead and salt this a little bit. You don't want too much salt, of course. The salt, even in like a sweet dish, helps wake it up, even if you put just a little bit. And I kind of like seeing that pepper in there. It just makes me happy for some reason. All right, people, so this is ready. As you can see, I've messed up. My pasta isn't even ready. So I'm gonna have to turn this off, let it cool before it sticks and burns to the bottom. I may come back, add a little bit of butter, and I'll be back when the pasta's ready. You boil pasta before you could do that. There's nothing to it. All right, I'll see you in a minute. So I'm going to go ahead and tell you right now, you do need to stir this, because you see I've got some sticking to the bottom. Be careful. You don't want that happening. So now my noodles are ready. I actually checked this. The taste is awesome. The texture, perfect. But if this was next level chef, guess what? I would have lost. Why? Because I screwed up my cook time. This should have gone on first. And this pasta is perfect. I'm just going to scoop it straight from there into there. Now, the original recipe called for the whole pound of this pasta and twice as much milk, but that was way too much. Way too much for me. I mean, that guy, turns out at the end of the video, he says, well, and my teenage sons love it. Well, of course teenagers are gonna like that much. I mean, they're teenagers. Now, to give it a little help, because that's gotten a little gummy, we're going to take a little bit of this starch water that we boiled the pasta in. See, that's why we took it straight from there to there, because we wanted to add just a little. Look at that. Look how that did. It went from almost sticky, gooey to creamy, liquidy. In fact, I think we're going to add just a little bit more. I think it could use just a little bit more, considering how long this had to sit waiting for its pasta. All right. And now we plate. All right, so now let's make this look amazing. Give it a little bit of a swirl. Need a little bit more than that. Whoa! Disaster! That's all right, my table's clean. I don't know about yours, but mine is. Now, plating is all about making something beautiful, so that when it comes to your table, your first thought is, oh my God, I can never, ever make something like that at home. While I am, in fact, making this at home. Now, let's just set this to the side briefly. Put that over there. Now, we're going to slice our chicken. And that's cooked perfectly. Use a nice sharp slicer. Yeah, look at that. Look, that is just perfect. Whoop. Now we're going to use one of these. way. That looks the best. There we go. Look at that. Now, for garnish, what would look good? Maybe a couple of cherry tomatoes, maybe a basil leaf. But today, I don't have any of that. I'm afraid all I've got is a little parsley. Dried parsley at that. But we can still use it. Still add a little green. Just to brighten it up just a little bit. Put as much or as little as you want. You can put too much. But there we go. Absolutely beautiful and ready for your date night tonight. Let's give it a try. All right, let's give it a try. Let's give this fried chicken first. Get a little bit of that sauce on there. Here's an idea. Maybe save a little bit of the sauce and drizzle on the top of the chicken. Oh, that'd be good. Now we gotta make sure the pasta's right. I'm in heaven. Absolutely amazing. You can make this fancy dish tonight for your Valentine. And it was easy. There's nothing to it. You need Parmesan cheese. You need some chicken breast. You need some pasta. Take your pick, whatever you want. Butter, heavy whipping cream, a little bit of flour if you want to make a batter. If you don't, grill it, bake it, whatever makes you happy. Throw it together, a little salt, a little pepper, very simply, and you got this beautiful dish ready to go. And let me tell you, you need to be making pasta for your ladies tonight. Ladies, make sure you're sending this to your guy. Because we guys know you ladies love pasta. It's like, I know the sky is blue. I don't know why. I just know that it is. I don't know why women love pasta, but I know you do. So, guys, if she sent this to you, she wants you to make this, and you had better. So, I'm going to go ahead, finish my meal, and I'll see you next week.